To be a Perrier, it means you've got to work hard, you've got to be outgoing, you've got to use your intelligence that God gave you, and hang in there.
We are a seed stock producer here in the Southern Flint Hills. Our focus is much like our commercial customers, to raise good cows that raise good calves that then go on and are harvested for certifying as beef at a high percentage rate. We market bulls in two different ways. We will sell about 130 to 140 bulls through an auction, and it's always the Saturday before Thanksgiving in November. And so the weather isn't as much of a deal. We've had plenty of stressors. Probably the most memorable one would be in 2008 when the recession had just started a few months before. The housing crisis had just blown up. Wall Street for the 2 weeks prior to our sale just completely puked, and the cattle market followed. And as Jim Birdwell, who's been our auctioneer for years, said, I climbed up on that auction block and I looked across there and I saw nothing but fear in those folks' eyes. They didn't know where the bottom was going to be. They were afraid we were a long ways from it, but as he said, nobody wanted to be the one to pay too much for a bull that day. That's any business that you want a reward in, there's going to be an associated risk, and you better be willing to take it.
This ranch goes back to the late 1860s when some of my ancestors on my mother's side, two different families, homesteaded in this area.
My great-grandfather bought the first Angus cows here at Dalebanks in 1904, and we've had registered Angus ever since.
We have raised some other cattle at a period of time, and very good education.
Further east, wind full swing out, the line is partly sunny skies with highs 90.
It's important to us to not only have jobs for the family, but also have the ability to raise kids and communicate and let them learn work ethic and learn planning and learn how to work with Mother Nature and have some faith in God to provide.
We have 5 children. Ava, our oldest, is 17, and she is a natural born leader. She gets that from her dad, and she's a perfect oldest child.
Our customers are depending for our bulls to be able to meet their needs and to keep the quality of their herds good, and to just be reliable with our bulls, to not bring any problems to them, and just make sure that our bulls are always improving their herds.
Second, we have Lyle. He's 14. He is a thoughtful thinker, but not a quiet thinker. He has lots of questions and analyzes everything and is very curious about the world.
Growing up on a ranch has taught me that hard work pays off, and it's not going to be easy, but if you can get to the end goal, it's worth it.
And then we have Hannah, who is 12, and she's our social butterfly. She loves detail and loves to talk, and just is a fun personality, and also a very good thinker.
My favorite thing to do on the ranch is probably whenever it's with my grandparents and my parents and our ranch hands and we get to vaccinate cattle, and that's probably one of my favorite things.
And then we have Henry, is our youngest son, and he is his very own person, very strong personality. He knows exactly what he wants and when he wants it, and he likes to take charge and isn't so happy when he doesn't get to be in charge.
When I grow up, I want to be a cowboy or a rodeo. Ranching is fun, and I like watching rodeos, and I want to be a bulldog when I grow up.
And then we have Hope, who is 20 months, and she's just kind of the light of our life. Just a very great kiddo who just fit right into our very busy family, and we take her everywhere. We often have talked, what would our life be like if we hadn't come back? There's certainly moments of, oh, I wish, we could have done this or we could have done that, but they're always nullified by the fact that we have such a wonderful family opportunity here with our children and with Matt's parents.
I would miss out on a lot of things. I would probably I might be at more ball games. I don't know for sure. But the biggest thing that I would miss out would be the opportunity to show them that regardless of how hard you work, sometimes Mother Nature or whatever the forces, markets, whatever it might be, make that work possibly all for naught, or at least less value than it probably should have been. Most jobs, you put in more hours, you think smarter, you make good decisions, and your outcome is generally going to be better than somebody that shrugged their shoulders and said, I'm not going to show up today. With farming and ranching, you can bust your tail and put in 80-hour weeks, and one hailstorm can come through and it's gone. I hope our cow herd hasn't changed significantly. I hope it has improved, but still, when we listen and make our selection decisions based on what our customers and what the entire beef industry is indicating through market signals, I hope they were profitable then, and I hope they continue to be profitable today. The technologies we have today are so much better than it was even when Dad was a kid, and what he had when he was starting out was way better than his dad, and so on and so forth. We've got an old hay rake out in the front of our place here, and I was mowing around it the other day and I got to thinking, you know, that dump rake pulled by a horse or two was a pretty cool technology in the late 1800s, early 1900s, because one guy didn't have to go and pitchfork the hay into piles. So they thought that was great technology. Today, it's 100-year-old technology, and I think we see the same thing. You know, we have obviously computers, phones that are stronger than any computer that we had 20 years ago. We have digital scales, we're using RFID tags. All of these are technologies that I think help us do a better job working with Mother Nature and working with cattle to provide beef as efficiently as we can provide it. That's a lot better. Carcass quality matters because it is the value determinant with our end consumer. And I remember that low point of beef demand in 1996. That's when I graduated from Kansas State University. And I had watched my folks work for decades trying to show people that there was a difference in breeds of cattle, that there was a difference in the beef quality. I remember some of Dad's buddies finding some of the little CAB plastic toothpicks that had the old logo on them and putting them in a bunch of barbecued chicken legs at a campfire dinner one time because they thought this CAB deal was a joke. And so when I see that logo, I see folks who believed that there was a reason that we needed to breed cattle that met consumers' demand. Regardless of what segment of the industry you're in, including our consumers, certified Angus beef has paved the way to higher quality and more consistent beef, period. They were one of the first ones that were included in grids that gave more dollars for those better grading carcasses. They were the leaders in tying product to genetics. It's the gold standard. And so yeah, it has impacted our livelihood because it increased the value of Angus bulls, which is what it was intended to do in the first place. It helped increase demand for beef of all types. It's more than just sustenance. It's a feeling, it's a tie to this way of life that all of us strive to be part of, and hard work and determination and risk and everything else that goes into raising good cattle.